Hey everyone, welcome to Philip in the Cloud. I'm going to talk to y'all about the new release of Ibis. As of a couple of weeks ago, we released 3.2. All sorts of really cool features. I'll drop the link in the chat, docs.ibisproject.org, and then you can also check out the release notes for 3.2 at this URL. I will post these links down below. Please subscribe if you want to follow along with Ibis development, which is what I stream mostly on this channel. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to show a couple of features that are new in 3.2 to make it easier to work with external libraries, namely pandas. So let's import some stuff. We're going to import Ibis and then underscore. We may use that later. If you don't know about the underscore API, I've got a video for that as well. I will put a link to that here in the chat as well, and then I will also link to it when I edit the description. Okay, let's get started. So imported some stuff. I'm going to import NumPy and pandas. And we're going to make a data frame with some kind of random looking data. So we've got our data frame. It's kind of a standard pandas in memory thing. We can do all sorts of stuff with it. And new in Ibis 3.2 is this API, ibis.memtable. And what that does is sort of make it easy to just plug in a data frame and get to where you need to get to. So if we look at the Ibis expression, maybe it's not super useful at the moment. It's just kind of showing you, hey, we've got this pandas in memory table. It's an expression we can do stuff with. It's got 20 million rows. But I can actually do operations with it. I can do that, and I can call execute, get back results, which is pretty neat, right? I didn't have to do ibis.connect. I didn't have to sort of fire up DuckDB or a database or anything. And it's pretty neat, actually, right? Like, you can just kind of work with data frames out of the box. Now, this is kind of based on some user feedback that working with data frames was like pretty clunky. And so, again, all you kind of have to do is, like, if you're given a data frame, let's say, I have some data here. Hopefully this doesn't totally backfire. Let's say I've got yellow trip data, I don't know, 2010, 01, CSV here. No idea if this will work. Let's see how it goes. Might take a bit because it's a fairly big file and it's compressed. It's going to take a bit of time. Maybe it's too big for a live stream. I don't know. But okay, there we go. Let's see. It's probably got a bunch of mixed types. Okay, great. So now, hopefully this works. Cool. We've got an Ibis expression now. We can look at schema. It's got vendor ID, this and that, latitude, longitude. We've got all the types inferred correctly, which is pretty sweet. So now we can actually just like start kind of doing, we can kind of run SQL expressions on that. So if we wanted to say, passenger count, max. Well, now we have an Ibis expression. This is not particularly helpful. Let's turn on interactive mode, which will actually show us the results kind of as we do it. So somehow there's a passenger count of 208 people in one ride. So that's probably a type, like a data entry error or something like that. But we're sort of running, we're operating on data frames using the Ibis API. That kind of leads me to the next feature, which is to implement this kind of seamlessly, what we did was actually make a default. We made a choice to make DuckDB the default backend, and we made that choice because DuckDB has the largest feature set, is fairly stable, and has really great performance. Um, so you can see, if we, I don't know, let's look at the passenger count value counts, which is going to show us basically grouping by passenger count and then counting the number of rows for which the passenger count is equal to that value. So in this case, we've got 1, 2, 5, 4, 6, 3, 208, and 0. So there are some suspicious numbers in here. 208 is really weird. There are 10 rides that have that count. There are some passenger counts of 0, though not many. 2, that's not a huge number. Not clear what's going on there. And we can kind of look at we can look at like the API here, sorry, the SQL. We can see like, okay, well, this is actually the code that was run, and you'll notice there's these funky like sort of underscore ibis underscore memtable1, and that corresponds to the alias that Ibis is giving the table in the DuckDB in-memory connection. What else can we do here? Of course, we can look at the table. We can look at I don't know. We can group by pickup, date time, date. Let's try day of week dot name, and we can do account maybe. It's a string column, so I need to cast that. So I'm going to do cast date, or rather, I'm going to cast it a timestamp, and then I'm going to extract the date out of that, and then do account. Okay, it looks like probably not 100% sure what the API is here. D dot day of week full name is what it is. Okay, so we'll make that the key, and I guess we can just type it here. It looks like we need to name it, of course, and we'll call this weekday. So we can see that let's actually sort by descending count. We've got the most rides on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then during the week kind of tapers off. And it's interesting. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday it keeps increasing. Then Friday night, probably because people are going out in New York City, you see that sort of trend. And again, if you type ibis.showSQL, you get a nice printout of what exactly is being run kind of in DuckDB, which is pretty nice, right? You can operate directly on data frames. If like your colleague or somebody hands you a data frame, you don't have to worry that, oh, like you can't use it in Ibis. Like in Ibis 3.2, you definitely can. All right, that is all, and thanks everyone for watching. See you next time, in which I will be showing a bunch of upcoming features in Ibis 4 where so stay tuned.